So let's look at another technique. It's a little bit more advanced as well when we look at how to build in automation. We use this quite a bit, say with endings of songs that are really long, or say there's parts of songs that you want to fade out. The biggest set of automation that I'll do is just kind of track volume control, just for making sets. So in Ableton 10, that's what we've been using here is Ableton 10. There is an icon over here towards the right that is automation. This is our automation mode. If we click this, we can see everything kind of turn to more of a translucent kind of color instead of solid. So here, let me actually open up all of Not Be Moved very quickly. So you can see everything looks a lot different now. So let me turn automation off. There we go. So it's what we've been looking at. Let's turn automation back on. There you go. You'll see lots of lines, lots of red lines. Some are solid. Some are dotted. Solid means there is some sort of automation that's already been built in. Now, sometimes Ableton will add in, automation markers for volume because you've been editing and stuff like that. But let's look at Not Be Moved just as an example. And I'll do kind of an extreme example here. And let's use the loop here because nothing's been done to the loop. Right here under loop, you'll see mixer. Leave it on mixer. You have speaker on underneath, but if you do this little drop down arrow, you'll see several different parameters you can control. Speaker on, track panning, track volume, fades, return. What I'm going to mess with is our track volume. Okay, so say towards the end of Not Be Moved, the last interludes, you just want to start fading those out really soon. You felt like it was holding on too long or whatever. You just don't want it to have it. You don't want to have that loop be so pronounced as you're ending the song. It's an extreme example, but let's look at this. You could drop in. Let me zoom in a little bit. Let me actually make this just a little loop, just a little bit bigger so you can see what there's a little dot that I put in. If you see it's a dotted line, if you click on anywhere on this dotted line, you'll see now that the dotted line turns solid. Okay, and I click another dotted line click another dot on the same line. Now I can draw something. Oh, too many. I can grab that line, that dot on that line, and drag it down. Now, essentially what I've done now is I have now drawn a piece of automation to drop the volume of that track. So listen to this. I soloed the loop over here. I'm going to play it. So you've heard the loop now drop to 0. Negative infinity decibels here. Infinite decibels. We've just dropped it as far as we could go. Now, you don't have to go that far. You can see all of that. You can even take it up 6 dB, but we were just going to drop it all the way down here for this automation. Pretty extreme example. But let's look at the same song and look at a different part. So say, let me get rid of, you can get rid of automation just by clicking the same points on that line and they'll go away. And now we're back to a solid line and there's no automation. Let's look at, say, as I was doing this, let's look at this EG1, this rhythm guitar. On this fade out and track ending, you can hear there's a lot of rhythm electric that's going to hold on. So let me just play the end of this electric rhythm and hear how it ends. I've actually already built it in, so watch this. If you can see if it's red, remember we talked about red dot, meaning there's already some sort of parameter that's been controlled. So there's a mixer. Okay, we're good there. Let's go down to track volume. Cool. You can see that it's already been dropped. So let's do this. Let's take away those dots. So listen to this. So it's a lot of guitar. A lot of guitar on the ending of that song. So let me do a little bit of a fade out because you're fading out maybe into the next song. Maybe you're fading out to an open moment. whatever the case may be. I'm going to draw a dot right here. Click a little dot. Let me open this up just a little bit more so you can see a little better. I'll take it. I'm going to drop a point right there at 0 dB. Everything's just at unity. We got everything at 0 right now. And then I'm going to click another somewhere, maybe halfway through that, whatever. I'm going to drop it. So now if I go back to the same point and play, you can hear the guitar kind of fades out. So let me do that on some of these other parameters that have been Ableton has added in because of all the edits I've been doing on this. Let me do this very quickly. I'm gonna do the same thing on the lead guitar. It looks like there's a, okay, I'm gonna make them all match. Now you can copy and paste these automation points. But I'm just going to do it the long way so you can kind of see what it takes. Let me just draw these track volumes. Excuse me, grabbing the wrong thing. There we go. All right. So let me solo in on all of Not Be Moved and see if I did this correct. Let's.
Intro, 2, 3, 4.
Sorry, I have this. I have it set to the buses we talked about before. But let me just play that one more time. But you can hear how it's all still fading out. So here we go.
Ending. Intro, 2, 3, 4.
It actually makes a pretty seamless transition right there because you got the beginning of the next song going right into that. And it feels really smooth because all of your strings, all your extra guitars are fading in about the right time to be able to begin the next song. So one more time, I'll let you hear it.
Ending. Intro, 2, 3, 4.
So this goes really well hand in hand with the merging of the two songs. If you look at the previous video about merging songs, this automation is great when you want to put two songs together and you don't want too much overlap from the sounds from the previous song to hold on to the next song. So work with these two videos and you can make some pretty amazing, pretty seamless transitions.